Why do we limit ourselves? We base our future success on our past failures, which is illogical because our future success is based on the idea that we will change and grow, keeping going, even when you fail. Leaders are readers, and if you're not reading, you're crazy. How many people have you heard that would say, oh, you know what? I tried my best and I regret it.
No.
If you waste a few hours every day or 20 minutes, it ends up being like 20 hours a week during the work week. If you multiply that by, a year, it's thousands of hours. All right, let's run into some of that added value content. How do you break your belief barriers? What are some things that you can actually do? What are some examples of doing that? How does it feel? So we'll run through that.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we're breaking belief barriers, the question we're trying to answer right now is, why do we limit ourselves? How does that happen, right? We've really talked a lot about that. Sometimes it's comparison. You're comparing yourself to someone else, his skill level, and therefore you're like, well, they're so good, there's no way I could do that.
Yeah.
Right? So we're asking those questions where, we base our future success on our past failures, which is illogical because our future success is based on the idea that we will change and grow, which are the things we are best at, we have already done and proven before. So when you're setting goals and when you're trying to break belief barriers, you have to factor in that you're going to learn and you're going to change, right? And that's what you've got to believe, because if you rationalize, if you overthink it, if you're like, oh, well, that'll never work for me, you're absolutely right, because you turn your brain off, right? So what you've got to get in this mindset of is consistency, right? Pushing yourself even when you fail, keeping going, keeping the pressure on even when you fail, realizing there's going to be embarrassment, realizing that you're going to feel like crap, but at the end, you're going to feel amazing because you did it.
Yeah, I feel like setting yourself up with the expectations, prepare for the worst, hope for the best.
Yeah, absolutely. How many people have you heard that would say, oh, you know what? I tried my best and I regret it.
No. Not a common phrase.
Right? Where people feel regret is when they didn't try their best. And so if you're actually giving it your all at something, you will accomplish that. You will increase your potential. You will increase your belief barriers, right? Because again, what's possible in the future, right? Your potential, it's not based on your past. It's based on what you can develop and how you can grow. So one of those things you could do is you really just pick something. You just need to prove it for yourself. You need to believe it, right? Mm-hmm. So find one thing that you need to focus on for the next 21 days. Make it a habit, right? 21 days to build a habit. And when it's a habit, it's stored in a different part of your brain. You don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
It just happens. Your body just kind of does it. Instinct, basically, right? And obviously, if you have some negative ones, you can do some instinctually negative things, right? Like waking up late, or not getting out of bed at your alarm, or sleeping past midnight, which are all really a huge waste of time. There's a Jordan Peterson video that was all about, if you waste a few hours every day or 20 minutes, or how people spend 4 hours on YouTube a day on their phones, it ends up being like 20 hours a week during the work week. If you multiply that by, a year, it's thousands of hours that people are just wasting in their life, right? And if your time was worth, $50 an hour, it's like $50,000 you're throwing down the toilet
every year,
literally by just being on your phone, watching a bunch of nonsense that you don't actually care about. Isn't that crazy?
Self-destructive.
It's self-destructive, right? It's these things, right? We get in these habits, right? So some of the things that would be probably helpful for you, what I would say is, if you don't go to the gym, you don't work out, you don't go on a walk, you don't exercise, do that for 20 minutes a day for the next 21 days and see how you feel. And if you're not a gym person, you'll probably feel more like a gym person, right? If you're not somebody who exercises, you're probably going to identify someone who's exercising, because your habits determine your identity, right? And so when you're setting goals for the future and you're trying to break these belief barriers, all it is building habits, and they will break these belief barriers, right? If you go record a podcast every week for the next 21 weeks, you will identify as a podcaster, right? Yeah, I'm a podcaster, man. Like, I've got podcasts, right? That's what you do, right? Another one, reading a good book in the morning. Leaders are readers, and if you're not reading, you're crazy, because there's all of this incredible information of what you want to do in your life, probably written in a book somewhere. So if you want to be a financial analyst, someone's done that. If you want to be a doctor, someone's done that before. Yeah. They've written books on how to be successful, and by not reading, it's just pure mental laziness, right? It's like our brains go into those habitual things that are comfortable, right? Another thing you do is just finish your homework before 5.
It's easy.
It's an ask.
It's easy, but
that's an ask.
Yeah. No, that one's easy to.
Yeah. I mean, if you did, right? I mean, how would you feel? Like, imagine every night, all you have to do is nothing, because you did everything you needed to be productive before 5.
I remember when I was in school, I set an alarm. It was like 5 p.m. and I was like, everything should be done by now. Never did it. I wish, man, the time I would have had.
Oh my gosh.
The extra time I would have had, man.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in college right now or high school, you have the best networking opportunity of anyone on the planet almost. I mean, you can literally do almost anything that has to do with people. Like, you can start a YouTube channel so easily because you can just talk to a million people and they'd all love like what you're doing.
Amazing.
It's like, and it's so funny because when you're there, you're just like going out or whatever. You're like wasting time.
Yeah.
And if you were smart with it, you could make college and high school really, really, really worthwhile, especially for the amount of money and time that you're putting in for some of those things, right?
Yeah. It's cool to look back at that with hindsight of like, man, all the time wasted. Could have been networking.
Yeah.
Could have been.
Oh my gosh, yeah, right? Complaining about like this assignment doesn't matter. It's like, well, yeah, maybe the assignment doesn't matter, but look where you're at.
Yeah.
Look where you're at. Do the assignment, get it done, and go network and build something and utilize the relationships, right?
If it's something like college, think about you're paying for that. Why not get the most out of it?
Yeah, maximize it, right? Yeah. This guy over here didn't get his homework done.
It got done.
He's homeschooled, all right? He does homework at midnight.
Another
idea is go to sleep by 10 p.m. Go to sleep by 10 p.m. for the next 21 days. See how you feel. You probably feel amazing.
Yeah.
You would probably feel amazing. Sleep, oh my gosh, yeah.
Underrated.
You literally will get so much more done in your day, you'll be blown away because you'll just be alert, you know? I mean, literally, you can do things inefficiently or you can do them efficiently. Sometimes it takes you 8 hours to do something. If you're rested, it takes you like 3, you know? So if you just like go to sleep.
That's odd.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
But rest,
Yeah, rest is a huge deal. Go to sleep. You know, another one, guitar hobby, just do that once a day for 21 days. See how you feel at the end. Again, your confidence is going to be built, okay?
You know, one thing I've heard of becoming someone successful is, think of who you want to be. Think of like an example of who you want to be that is successful. And then think of little habits they do. And then write down those habits and then start doing those habits, working those in. Mm-hmm. You know, if somebody, you want to be, like I said, financial analyst, they probably read pretty often. They probably go to bed early. They probably get their workouts in.
Yep.
So yeah, just writing those down and then doing one by one until, 21 days on one, 21 days on another, 21 days on another. Next thing you know, you're doing everything that successful character is doing, and then eventually it's going to fall into place where you become that.
Absolutely. So just bringing this all together, right? So avoid the self-destructive idea of limiting your potential by living in the past, right? Don't base your future success or what you're capable of based on your first try, based on your try that you've done, haven't done something for 2 years or whatever. You can learn anything you put your mind to. And if you have that mindset of growth where you are going to conquer things and you're going to learn things, and no matter how long it takes to learn, you're going to push through. There's nothing that you can't do. There's nothing you can't do. There's just usually a point where people quit, and you just have to go beyond the point. If you can just get through that point, right, your potential for success in this world is going to be astronomical. And that's how you break belief barriers. You just keep going. You consistently keep trying. Oh, perfect. Time for bed. That's asleep. Mr. Sandman.
You were saying.
Right? So you want to, consistency, right? If you can break through that wall where most people quit, you will be successful in whatever field that you're trying to be successful in. And that's how you break your belief barriers, is through good habits. So 21 days, that's my challenge to you. Our challenge to you is do something for 21 days. Do something for 21 days. For me, I'm reading a book every day. That's what I'm doing. I've been reading a book. You're going to read a book 21 days? All right, that's a challenge. So we will probably talk about a book in 21 days that we finally hopefully finished, right? Which would be good. So my favorite books are in the description below. If you are going to buy some of those different books, we'll have a YouTube video on each one of them at some point. But they're my favorite personal development books. We do get a kickback on the channel. That helps out a lot. So we can keep making content like this and maybe sometime do it full time in the future. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. That helps us grow. Comment below if you like this content or if you have ideas or questions. We are all about making content for you guys. That's actually why we made this video, was because people wanted more mindset type stuff. So I really, really hope this is helpful, enjoyable, somewhat entertaining, and comedic. If you are interested in being more successful in your 20s, maximizing your college years, go ahead and subscribe, follow us on the podcast as well, which will be in the description below. Thanks so much.